Okay, so this is going to be the last video in this series. I think we've done a lot of videos, but this is just the inverse. It's kind of the other way around. So in this example, they might ask us, they tell us, look, you need to give me a 3-digit number that is divisible by 3, 6, and 9. And now we have to make up our own number. So for this example, they might say, okay, 3-digit number that has to be divisible by 3, by 6, and by 9. In this example, they're going to ask us, give me a 3-digit number that is not divisible by 3, by 6, or by 9. And in this example, they're going to say, okay, look, we want a 3-digit number. We want it to be divisible by 3, but not by 6, but it should be divisible by 9 as well. So it sounds like extremely difficult and stuff, but we just take it step by step. So let's take a look at the first example. We need a number that is divisible by 3, by 6, and by 9. So if I remember, if I want a number that is divisible by 3, if I add the numbers, they should add up to a number that is divisible by 3. And very similar for 9. So if I have a 3-digit number, if I add the numbers, the total sum of the numbers should give me a number that is divisible by 9. And then the 6, we had 2 rules. So it should be divisible by 3 and by 2. So for a number to be divisible by 6, I know it definitely has to be an even number. And that's the first thing I can do here. I can make sure this number is even. How can I make sure this number is even? I can put an even number here. So it can be, I can put in a 0, I can put in a 2, a 4, a 6, or an 8. So let's just put in a 4, just because whatever. We want to make sure it's an even number. So because it's an even number, the first test for 6, whether it's even, check. So we know this works. The second test is we need a number that's going to be divisible by 3. So if I add the numbers, it has to be a number that's divisible by 3. So let's just write a couple of numbers that's divisible by 3. So the multiples of 3 would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 18. Oh, let's just 15 first. 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. Okay, but that's enough numbers there. So, but the trick is this number has to be divisible by 3 and by 9. So if I add the numbers and they get to, for example, 6, so let's do that. If I put a 1 and a 1 here, then I know 4 plus 1 is 6. So this number will be divisible by 3 because my total is 6. If I add them, I get 6. I know it will be divisible by 6 because it's divisible by 3 and it's an even number. But is it divisible by 9? No, it's not, because 9 doesn't go into 6. So if I add the numbers here, they should add up to a number that is also divisible by 9. So I have to just take this out. And the numbers that will work for me is if I add the numbers and I get a 9, or I get an 18, or I get a 27, then I know this number will work. So let's try and add numbers to get to 9, just because it doesn't matter. So we already have 4. So I try to make small numbers. So I just add a 1. So I'm at 5. And then I add a number, which is 4. And 4 plus 1 plus 4 would give me 9, which means the number is divisible by 9. And it's automatically divisible by 3. And then I just have to make sure it's an even number, and it is, so it's divisible by 6. Okay, there are other numbers that can work as well. So 414 would work. We can try another number. If I just have to make sure this is an even number, so I can make it a 0, and I have to make sure the numbers add up to 9. So I can do a 5 and a 4, because 5 plus 4 plus 0 is going to be 9. So it's divisible by 9, by 3. It's an even number. If I change this 0 to, let's make it a 6. It's an even number. Then if I wanted to, I can add a 9 here and say, okay, 9 plus 6 is 15. So how do I get to 18? So 15, 16, 17, 18. So a 3. So I know 3 plus 9 plus 6 is going to give me 18. So 9 will go into it and 3 will go into it. And because it's an even number, this will work. Okay, so obviously there's endless possibilities. Well, I won't say endless because it's only a 3-digit number, but there's a lot of different ones. Okay, so the next one, they say, should not be divisible by 3, 6, or by 9. So very easy. If I don't want it to be divisible by 6, I just make sure this is an odd number. So I just make sure it's a 1. I can write a 1, a 3, a 5, a 7, or a 9, and it won't be divisible by 6. So that's the first test. And then the second one is I should just make sure if I add the numbers, it's not divisible by 3. I don't even have to look at the 9 because I know if 3 doesn't go into it, there's no way 9 will go into it. For example, if I have 8, or, 3 can't go into 8 without a remain, so obviously 9 won't go either. So I don't even have to worry too much about the 9. But let's just say if I were to put in 1, 1, 1, that won't work because 1 plus 1 plus 1 is a 3. And then 3 will go into it, 9 won't go into it, and 6 won't, but 3 will be go into it. So I'm just going to change this to a 0, because 1 plus 0 plus 1 is going to give me 2, and 3 won't go into that. I can make bigger numbers as well. It doesn't have to be a small number like that. I can make this a 9, make sure it's an odd number, and then I just make sure that numbers, if I add them, it's not one of those numbers. So 9, I can make 10, let's make a bigger number, let's make it a 7. So we're at 9 plus 7 is 16, so I can make, let's make a 4, and just check if that works. So 9 plus 7 is 16, plus 4 is 20. So 3 won't go into 20, and 9 won't go into 20 either. So again, a lot of possibilities here. But you get the gist. Okay, so for the last one, they say they want a number that is divisible by 3 and by 9, but not by 6. So if it should not be divisible by 6, then I can just make sure it's an odd number. So I can make a 3 here. Because now automatically 6 won't go into it because 2 won't go into it because it's an odd number. But if I want 3 and 9 to go into it, when I add the numbers, it should either add up to 9, 18, 27, something that 9 will go into. So I can just do something simple like 3, 3, 3. It's very simple because 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9, and 9 will go into 9, so 3 will also go into 9. If I wanted to do maybe bigger numbers, I can do a 7 and an 8, because 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 8 is 18. So I know 9 will go into it, so 3 will go into it, but 6 will not go into it because 3 is an odd number. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the series, and good luck with everything forward.